Can you guys hear me? Oh my god, I think my dog just threw up in the background. Can you guys hear that? Awesome, Fanny Rose. Thank you. Fanny Rose. Are you guys hearing me okay? I just want to make sure that, yes, you can. Okay, so Facebook can hear me. I don't have any YouTubers yet. Thank you, Caroline. I'm just posting this out. This could get a little bonkers today. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. We will see. We had an interesting morning this morning. I decided not to shower. I was like, screw it. I'm going to go later. I'm going to do a spa thing at 5:30. So I'm like, I'll just take a quick shower later before I go there. So I'm on to do some charming, which is something that I've been playing around with, that I've been enjoying. And I wanted to share it with you guys. Some of you guys know about it. Some of you maybe don't. But you're about to find out about it. Just another fun way. What I have found is that it's a fun way to build your sort of spirit dictionary to help kind of communicate with spirit through clairvoyance or mediumship, depending on how you, like if you see stuff in your third eye, or if you're hearing things, or, you know, however you communicate with spirit. I like to do this. Oh, Tia, you're here. I want to do a, I want to charm you. Like, oh, I want to charm you, girl. No, I want to do a charming for you, if possible, if you don't mind. Now, I have my cameras set up in such a way that I can't get the full board because I don't have enough height on my bird's eye camera. But you guys will just have to bear with me and trust that I might move the board a little bit as we do it. That way I'm able to get this out onto YouTube. So, Angel, you can hear me on YouTube? I see you're there. Kelly's in a restaurant. You're hilarious. Okay, Kelly, I hope you're enjoying your lunch. So you guys can hear me then. Everybody can hear me because I've got this third camera in, and I thought maybe it was going to affect what was able to be heard. Okay, wait, this is the wrong. Shoot. Okay, whatever. I'll use it. Carolyn, you want to be read? Okay. Fanny, Rose, do you want a reading? Are you still with me? Carolyn Seifert, I have you on for charming. You're after Tia. Hugo Verde, good for you, Hugo Verde. Kelly's having a Hugo Verde. He's being healthy. Kristen, have I charmed you yet? Oh, you're as Ducky poolside. Okay, cool. Have I charmed you? All right, well, I'll start with some of these, and we'll see. So, Tia, do you have a specific question? Okay, then, Kristen, I'll put you on the list. If Fanny Rose is here, I would definitely do charming for her if she wants. So just let me know if you are still here. Maybe you have signed off. That's okay. So I've got 3 to start, so that's good to start. Hey, Carmetta Caraway, how are you, dear? So charming is a new form of divination for me. Hey, Aaron O'Donnell, how are you? I just started doing it, and I'm enjoying it. Carmetta, all right, Carmetta Caraway. Just a general? Okay, so I'm going to dig through my charms. Give me one moment. You were stalking Bruce Springsteen. Kristen Ravello said she was stalking Bruce Springsteen during the last Charming. That's funny. I was in a restaurant the other day and they were playing that Dancing in the Dark video with Courtney Cox, and I just was watching it and I was like, God, we were such different society back then. It was so weird. Like that was like the thing. It was so interesting. Okay, Tia, I'm gonna just ask Spirit as I'm moving the charms around in here for the messages that Tia needs right now to serve her highest good. Okay. All right, so I'm going to flip on the camera. Give me one moment. And Carolyn Cypher, you're up next, so think of a question if you want something charmed specifically, or I can just do a general charming for you. Hold on one second. Let me put up the camera. Wait, is this not going to work? There we go. Okay. Now, it's not the full board, so bear with me while I learn how to do this. Let me put the chat window back up. Okay. So what I see right off the bat, where's my little pointer? This is the upper part of the board. And so what we have here okay, let me see if I can move this camera just to show you the lower portion of the board. Can you see that? That's the lower portion of the board. So the thing that stands out for me right now is you want good luck. You're trying to manifest good luck. You have Ganesh in your subconscious, right? He's down here low. And he's sort of in the past. You've been wishing for good luck for a while, and you're on your way into the present, and you're really starting to manifest it. I like that Ganesh's head is heading into the present with this like halo. Like what you're starting to think about or what you're starting to manifest, the abundance that you're looking at or you're deeply wanting is starting to come to fruition. And this here, I put these green dice in here to signify money. And so, or like wealth or healing. And I feel like this abundance, this Ganesh, his greenness in your subconscious says to me that you are trying to manifest more money, or you want more money in your life. And this, in being in the future space, says to me that it looks like it's actually it is starting to ruminate in your subconscious, in your future time space. So I would not be surprised if money shows up for you, Tia. The fact that it's a 5 says to me, I think it could be, 5 months, but like, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure on that. If that's a dead read on that, who knows? It could be 5 years. You'll have to message me in 5 months and let me know if like some abundance comes in your way. But this is definitely coming to you in the future, and it feels like that Ganesh down here in the bottom is sort of like in the background. Subconsciously, you're sort of generating those good vibes or that openness to receiving that abundance that Ganesh represents. Up here, I feel like now I can stay like in the middle of the board. Up here, it's interesting to me. There's a part of you that is like unclear about the future. Okay, I feel like, and you're unclear in a big way. I feel like this is the wisdom charm, or like sometimes the owl can represent logic, and this is the big owl. I have 2 different owls in the box. One is smaller and one is bigger. So when I flip this over, just to show you, this is a big owl. This is like big logic, big knowledge, wanting to know like maybe what's going to happen in the future or where the future's heading. And because he's flipped over, it says to me like you don't really know, or you're not really allowing yourself to access it in your higher mind. You're not necessarily allowing yourself to, you've got double 5s. Interesting. You've got this white 5 here too. I just noticed that. That's a little synchronistic. It feels to me like there's something that's telling me that where you're headed in the future is a little bit unclear, or your plans aren't necessarily set in stone. Or 100% clear for you right now. This charm here is a Reiki charm. I haven't learned all of the Reiki symbols yet. I know one is long distance healing. I think this might be it. I'm not 100% sure. If Nate was here, she would be able to tell us. But this says to me, just as a general overview, that like in your center, in your present moment, you're looking for some healing or trying to heal yourself, trying to get centered spiritually. I feel like it's a slightly upside down. It doesn't feel really bad to me. It feels like you're accessing that healing, but we really want it to like go upright. Does that make sense? Why do I feel like this is a fight amongst friends? Have you recently had a fight with anybody, with a good friend or somebody that you're very closely bonded to, like a disagreement of some sort? This feels like this is a sort of like somebody you're very, very close to. It could even maybe be a relative, but it feels like that you guys are tied together really close. And I feel like when I look at it, what I'm hearing is that it's an argument that's happened between you two about, it might be about the future, about like they want you to do a certain thing and you want to do something else, or you're not seeing eye to eye. Um, the event in the future could heal you. Okay, that's good to know. And this is the thing. It's like this is sort of. I want to say this with charming. I believe that because the charms are. On the board means that their energy is present, right? We have the choice of accessing the energy or not accessing the energy. So if the because we have free will, right? So if the big knowledge is here, right? It means that it's there. It's there for the taking if you want it. Currently, right now, maybe because it's set in the future, you're unaware or not sure of what it's going to bring about exactly, and that's why it's flipped over. But the fact that the owl shows up in presence here says to me that you have the possibility of gaining some big knowledge and some big awareness, some big sort of learning for you, starting now and moving into the future. Okay. Let me see. I'm trying to heal. Yes, I want to move, and he may end up staying. I feel like that's what this is about, and I feel like there's a tug of war happening between these two. So maybe this is you and your partner, and I feel like again that you've got another 5 going on here, which says to me like, is something going to shift for you in about 5 months' time? I also feel like this crab, which is flipped over, feels like. I hate to say this, Tia, but I feel like you might be moving into the future with a little bit of a hazy outlook, like a little bit crabby outlook, or not feeling quite yourself. I don't know, what sign are you, Tia? You're not Cancer, are you? Because generally I put this in there to represent the sign of Cancer. It could end you, and I think that this is what this crabbiness is like you're sort of angry with him, like you want him. Things are upside down, they're in question right now, this relationship or this joining here, and it's not coming up. This is the sign generally for Gemini, but when I look at this in your situation, I feel like this is also like I said, it's a bonded friendship or a relationship of some sort, of very serious one, an important one, that it feels like they're at odds, like they're pulling in opposite directions, and that there could be a break, and that's why they're sort of upside down. It's not 100% set in stone, but you're an Aquarius. Okay, thank you. He's a Cancer. Interesting. The Cancer symbol is flipped over. No, he's not a Cancer. I just feel like also too the read is that this might be you moving into the future a little bit sort of disillusioned and crabby. He's a Pisces like me. Okay. I think 5 months. I don't know why these double 5s are showing up. I feel like that's a synchronistic thing. I think that that's a good thing. I think that this white doesn't necessarily call much out to me. I just think it's another signifier that like you got to give it time, give it some time, give it 5 months, give it some space. Things are en route. You're going to have your answers as you move forward, but it's like from this point on, from the now, concentrate on healing yourself, getting this charm like sort of to get more, a little bit even more upright. I like that it's face up. That says that something is working right and you are working on self-healing and self-care and taking care of yourself. You might realize that this situation isn't necessarily in your best interest or is healing for you. And as you do that over the course of the time, that realization is going to take place over this time, and this will be maybe the result of that is feeling a little bit crabby, a little bit not quite happy about it, but moving on into the future. I think that this has, like I said, these options here, especially this wisdom, we want to flip this over, but we might need to get a little bit more into the future to understand what is going on and what it is we are learning, what it is we are taking in and how we're learning. But it's going to be big knowledge. It's going to be big wisdom. And also there's, like I said, this Ganesh down here in your subconscious, there's something pushing you right now that knows that it wants better. It wants more abundance. It wants more good for you. And this green 5 here in the future says to me that that abundance is out there for you in your subconscious, waiting to be manifested. But some of this stuff here needs to be worked out first before you can move forward, access this knowledge, and manifest what it is you're looking for. Okay, I hope that works for you. I hope that makes sense, but I'm going to leave you with that. I'll let you look at the charms just a little bit more. I'll show you that Ganesh down there. I do want to say this. I like that there's sort of so few charms to me. In that way, it feels like there is a bit of clarity about you, like in the sense that, let me just adjust this a little bit, in the sense that you do seem like your purpose is sort of not singular per se, because I see something here with Ganesh and I see something with this healing and dealing with this relationship. You've got yourself in multiple areas doing work, but it doesn't feel like your mind is super cluttered. There's not a lot of charms on here that feel like you're confused. There might be some trepidation around this relationship and what's coming in the future, but ultimately what this is all based on is this Ganesh down here, which is this driving joy, abundance, luck. Jupiter's about to go direct too, which is all about expansion and luck. So I would imagine Jupiter's tied to Ganesh in some way because they're very similar as to what they represent. And I do see the good things coming to you materially and healing wise too. This 5 could be about healing too, because when I put the green dice in there, they were to signify either money or healing. Not that the two are intertwined, but just the color green represented both for me from spirit. So, and there's a synchronicity here. So these double 5s says to me, trust it. And then that leads you to 10, which brings you down to 1, right, when you do numerology. And then I think about this relationship, and maybe you might be moving into the future as 1. I don't know. We'll see on those decisions that you make. I think you have some time to like work through this stuff, and you will access this wisdom and figure out your answers for yourself. It will be big wisdom. It will be no joke. It'll be like, oh, awareness kind of thing. You're getting it, and I think you're giving it to yourself, the healing that you feel that you need bad, Tia. So, hi, Jessica Farley. How are you? Okay. You are both crabby all the time. Well, it looks like you might be dealing with that for a little bit more time. Hi, Marilyn Brignoni. I hope I pronounced that correctly. So, Carolyn, are you here? Please like, share, subscribe, push the video out, you guys, if you can. Thank you, Irish in Cyprus. Irish in Cyprus. Hey, Irish in Cyprus, do you know what symbol that was that I had up there? Oh, shit, I just lost it. What symbol is this for Reiki? Can you, Irish in Cyprus is sending you Reiki if you're willing to receive, Tia. What symbol is that for? Over on YouTube. All right, Caroline, I will do a general for you. Let's see if Irish in Cyprus, it's the master symbol. Huh, interesting, because it sounds like you're trying to make a master decision on what you're going to do. Are you going to consult him or have him be a part of it? Interesting. All right, I'm going to let that go. Thank you, Spirit. I'm going to ask for general charming for Caroline. What does Spirit want Caroline to know? Wow. Okay. All right, let me just tilt this camera just ever so slightly. Most everything in your space, Caroline, is in the center. So it's interesting. A lot of your stuff falls in, how would I say this? Your conscious mind. Like you're thinking a lot, I would say right out of the gate. You're a big thinker. You also got the owl, the big owl. It's interesting to me because it says that you've got a lot of wisdom in your present moment right now. You might feel like maybe the fact that he's sort of tilted upside down says this to me. It feels like you have your knowledge, but other people around you say maybe are naysayers or trying to tell you, no, Caroline, that's not right. No. You're like, no, bitch, I know. So it feels like you're owning your knowledge, but it might the sense that I'm getting with the owl being sort of twisted slightly upside down is that there's maybe people around you that aren't allowing. And listen to this, and interesting, as I look a little bit further, we have the family charm here faced Are they face up? They are face up, but they're connected and they're upside down to this owl. They're touching this owl. I feel like your family is maybe getting in the way of allowing you to sort of own what you know to be true. They're not really, there's like somebody that's close to you like family, or there might be multiple people in your family or your close friends that feel like family that might be sort of denying your wisdom or negating it in some way. Doesn't mean that it's affecting you. You're still having it and owning it, but it feels like you are not being allowed it. Does that make sense? Um, uh, So let me see here. What else do we got? I have this book in the background, and this background usually means in the past. So it feels like there's. I don't know why I feel like this is like the AA Big Book. This feels like this is like knowledge or records that you have of the past, memories of the past, things that are collected that have not necessarily served you. And I feel like when I'm looking at this, it feels like it feels like a book of knowledge that you have sort of created over time, and you've left it kind of in the, not left it in the past, but it's back there and you in the back of your mind, right? And it drives some of this wisdom that you have going on here. It's what allows you to know and be clear with this wisdom. What doesn't allow you to, like, what sort of like wonks this out is that like some friends, some family or something, they don't necessarily always acknowledge the wisdom that you have. Underneath here is the frog, which represents sort of cleansing to me. And sometimes frog is also sort of like good luck. But he feels like he's upside down. I mean, he doesn't feel like he's upside down. He is upside down. So there is this sort of cleansing that needs to take place. And I feel like if these people, if we let go of what we necessarily think they think about us or our wisdom, and we allow ourselves some cleansing of some sort of past stuff, I'm not exactly sure what it is, I feel like this owl will go dead upright, like just like go like whoop, and boom, he's in dead center in your spread, dead center like in your wisdom, dead center owning it, dead center like nobody can fuck with me, touch me, that kind of thing, okay? I'm going to turn him back the way he was, though. But I feel like this is sort of like a little bit of, I don't know if this frog is based in some sort of older, it feels like you're working on it now because it's in the present moment, but it's something that like you're looking at with your wisdom because your wisdom is touching it and you're sort of trying to process it, flip it upright, cleanse it, and be done with it. The other thing that you have here is the 6th chakra stone, which says that your intuition is also, you're accessing through this general wisdom and like thinking, because a lot of this is about you thinking in the present time mind. You are accessing your intuition. You're doing it more and more and more as you go into the future. This is in the present right now, but it's also heading towards the future, and I like that. You have under here, and I'm just going to dig in the charms a little bit, you have the Saint Judas Tadeo, which is the remover of obstacles, but it could represent a male figure like coming into the future. I don't know if this is maybe a partner or a husband. He's also tied up with this family thing, is my feeling. And I also feel like the moon is underneath here, and the moon is upside down. It is upright, but there's also an angel connected to this moon. And it feels like he sits on top of it like he doesn't necessarily, like down here you're accessing your intuition, but up here these people don't let you access your intuition. They turn it upside down on you. Does that make sense? Like they disagree with you, or they don't acknowledge or validate what you know intuitively, and you have very strong intuition. Very, very strong. The helping hand is here, which is a milagro that I obtained here in Mexico. And to me, this means like you're quite giving and always giving, and but also I believe that you're also, the reason why this is showing up is you're in need of a helping hand right now. And these guys, this cluster here doesn't feel like it's giving it to you. It doesn't feel like it's necessarily supporting you in the way that you need to be supported. You are supporting yourself, though. I have to say that. This wisdom card and this intuition chakra stone says to me definitely that you are accessing your wisdom, you are accessing your own personal intuition, you are trying to utilize them to sort of clear away and cleanse yourself and help yourself along the way into the future with this helping hand. But don't be closed off to the idea of finding help from outside sources, maybe other than these ones that are close to you where you would expect it to come from. Now, this other two charms, the last two charms, and again we have another 5 and a red. The red deals with love. Like I sometimes I see red as either love or it could be anger. I don't feel like this is necessarily anger coming in your future. I feel like this is love. I don't necessarily feel like there's significance to the 5, but I feel like it almost feels like it's touching all of these people. So maybe in the future you are able to come to some sort of terms with these people, and you're able to sort of find love for them, but in a way that serves you, where you're sort of free of the. I don't feel like you. Well, it feels like you need, not you. You don't need their approval or their validation, but you would like it. This 5, sorry, I don't want to knock the board over. This 5 says to me that at a certain point in the future, you will get to a place where you won't necessarily feel as much that you need their approval or validation. You will still have love for them and be connected to them, but you will be empowered in your own self. And part of the reason why I feel that is because as you cleanse this and as you help this, the lizard is upside down, but this is about dreaming. The lizard represents dreaming. So when you start to cleanse this frog, this is the way that it's drawing it all together for me. As this frog cleanses itself, right, which is a aspect of your mind, as you're cleansing that and healing that with your intuition and your wisdom is going upright. You're giving yourself the helping hand. Your dreams are going to go upright. You're going to go into the future understanding your dreams, and it doesn't matter what these people here think. They won't have the ability to stand on your moon anymore. They won't have the ability to sort of affect your intuition. You're accessing it here. The horse is down here in the future. The horse represents personal power to me. Horses represent like graceful, natural power. And to me, it's upside down right now because it's in the future. It's determined by how this is getting handled right now in the present as to how quickly and how soon and whether or not you are able to access this horse. Does that make sense? That's why the horse is sort of flipped upright, because you have sort of this stuff here that you're working your way through, plus this here that you're working your way through. As you work them through, your dreams will flip over. You'll start to be able to own your dreams, or this lizard will start to work for you. They'll stop blocking your dreams too, because I think that they are connected to this lizard being flipped over. And the horse will come into play. The love will come into play. You'll be able to have like sort of a different relationship with them, all of these people here, and also a different relationship to yourself, but a much more empowered relationship. I feel like you're already very empowered. The problem is it's almost like people around you negate it or don't necessarily honor it in the way that you would like. So, but I think that that will change. I think that you will get to a point where you will be able to love them and not necessarily need them for that. You'll be able to honor it within yourself, and that's this horse charm. Okay, as you give yourself that helping hand. So I'll leave you with that. Hi, Natasha B. Greetings. Please like, share, subscribe to the channel if you'd like. Okay, so that's your charming, my dear. I hope that you enjoyed that. All right, so the next person is Kristen. Irish and Cyprus. You're welcome, Caroline. You're welcome. Hey, Destiny, how are you? Hi again, Kayanat, how are you? So, Kristen Ravello, are you still with me? You're up next. And then after Kristen is Carmetta. Carmetta, if you're still here. General. Okay, so Spirit, what does Kristen Ravello need to know? What's going on for Kristen Ravello in the chat? Giant wisdom is back. What is going on? Y'all are trying to learn a whole bunch of shit. Okay. Let me just look at this for a minute. Irish and Cyprus, really quick, what is this? Can you tell me, please? Thank you, Natasha B, for the subscription. Kayanat, yes, you can. If you could tell me what this represents in Reiki, Irish and Cyprus. I'm going to say this, Kristen. Are you single right now? Just give me a yes or no. Because I feel like you are. It's this one. It's not master, because that was the other one that you... You are single, right, Kristen? Because the first thing that pops off in my brain is this red 4 up here in your higher mind. Like, I don't know if you're necessarily desirous of a relationship, but I feel like you're maybe like working on one, or you want one. A lot of, there's this thing here too. This is the elephant charm, and it's memory. I feel like a lot of your memories are sort of still with you a little bit, like you're just shaking free of them. You're just starting to realize that, oh, these memories aren't working for me. The thoughts that I think aren't necessarily getting me to where I need to go. This healing is, yes, this is a charm live. Charm live. So this elephant feels to me like the elephant represents memories. And because it's sort of in present time space and heading into the past, it feels like you're sort of letting them go. The fact that the elephant is upside down says to me that some of your memories are a little bit wonky or not great, right? And we need to let them go. The fact that it's the elephant also says to me that it weighs a little bit heavy on you, or it has in the past, and it's like lessening, and we're really moving that out. As I see that happening, down here we have this healing charm happening in the subconscious. And from this healing charm, I feel like when we get to this ooh, girl. Okay, I'm going to go with this because there's a story happening here. From this healing charm, like, because we're being, hey, Belen, hey, Reese Carter. This healing charm here, we start to want this subconsciously. We're wanting subconscious healing. Shut up, stop barking. As we attain this healing, or as this healing starts to come from us, or for us, through us, because it's in our subconscious, and because we are releasing this is kind of like we're letting it go. That is part of the healing, right? I feel like, to me, as I'm looking at these charms, I'm feeling like this elephant is slowly drifting off and away, off the board, right? And I feel like this is uprighting at the same time, because this is the healing that's taking place for you, as you're letting go of the past, you're letting go of the memories that hang heavy and hold you back. When you do that, it moves into this charm in your subconscious, which is the big wisdom, which is the big awareness. So I feel like this will flip over. This is what I'm being told. And you're going to access that wisdom on a deeper level. And then this one feels like it's you. It's about you having the strength in your future of being able subconsciously to really truly believe in yourself and your wisdom and your own healing, to really have ownership over who you are and be very grounded in it. That's why this is at the bottom part of the board. Now, up here, this makes me think of a relationship, like either you're desirous of one or you're thinking about it, you're like entertaining the possibility. And part of that is why you're sort of letting go of these old memories of these other relationships that maybe didn't work for you. I see in the future you have the crown, and she is perfectly upright, and she is beautiful. The crown is all about beauty, about royalty, about being treated correctly, about expecting it, right? Like as if you were a queen. And I feel like that's these three charms down here. This is the subconscious work that takes place where we get to that oneness with ourselves, like this Di is. And wasn't Lady Di a princess or a queen? She was supposed to be queen. So it gets us to this Di, and this Di brings us to this crown, right? In the future, we get into this solid space in who we are and what we know, and appreciating that, and that we own ourselves from that place. Now, you also have the power charm, which is the horse face down. But I feel like the horse is heading into the future, like its face is going this way into the future. I feel like what this is saying to me is that he's not accessible just yet, because I think that your jump back into the dating pool might be a little bit dicey at first, but stick with it, and in the future you will find your own personal power and your own ability to be treated like a queen and to be loved as such, because you love yourself from that place, and because you've healed yourself from that place. You know who you are, you know what you deserve. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with that. Again, I'm going to say this is a very clear-minded chart, like in the sense of the board is not full of a lot of charms. And a lot of your activity right now is just sort of dealing with the releasing of this and the healing in depth. And I think that in your day-to-day life, you just kind of move through day-to-day life. A lot of what's coming for you is set up for your future. But I like your future. It's like the song that comes to my mind is "The Future's So Bright, I've Got to Wear Shades." Do you know that song? It reminds me of that. Or if there's a good song about a crown, find that and play that. Do you know what's the name of that? There's this like girl group that I love. I can't think of their name. Shit. And they sing the song "Crown on the Ground, Crown on the Ground." But anyways, future so bright, I gotta wear shades. That's what it feels like to me. Okay? So I'm gonna leave you with that. Say hey, Key. That's right. Thank you, Irish and Cypress. All right. Carmetta Caraway, in general for you, it's also your turn. So we're up for you, Carmetta. Okay. Good. What does Carmetta Caraway need to know? Please like, share, and subscribe, guys, especially at YouTube. Oh, you're welcome, Kristen. You're welcome. Oh, you're crying? Oh, honey. That's okay. We got the feeler card today, so go ahead and have those feelings. Trust those feelings. Cry like a child, but you need to be, baby. It's all right. Hi, Tony Middleton Steele. Please give the page a like, the video a like. Please share it out. So I'm doing Carmetta Caraway. And after that is Irish and Cypress, my YouTubers. Thank you guys for subscribing and being faithful. Okay, let's look at what Carmetta's got. Okay. Ready, Carmetta? It's funny how you guys match up on some of the charms in the way that they're laying out. Like we had those 5s, and you know, Tia had 2 5s, and then Kristen had a 5. It's just interesting to me, but it was a different colored 5 and all of that. So it's funny because I believe that in the universe, like energy attracts like. And I'm looking at this, and you guys, Caroline had the family charm. Hers was upright, but they were blocking her wisdom in some way. Your family charm is face down. And it's right in the center of your spread, right? I feel like there's an issue with your family. I feel like they are blocking your transformation. The butterfly, this is the big butterfly in my group of charms, and this represents large transformation. There's something that you're trying to have, and your dreams, your lizard is also attached to these families, this family, correct? And so it's upside down, similar to how Caroline's was sort of upside down, heading into her future. But this is more dreams that you have right now, that you want to accomplish, that you aren't necessarily allowed to because maybe there's issues with the family, or maybe the family is taking more of your time or your attention. You need to give it to them. Maybe they're having dire straits or problems, and so you're not able to access your dreams and have this transformative experience that you're supposed to have. I'm not saying that you're not going to have the transformative experience. It just feels a little bit like they're standing in the way of it right now for you. Okay? Now, down in the subconscious, I want to say this. You got the big shell. Let me move the camera just a little bit. I have two different shells in here to represent the same thing, but on a grander scale, okay? This shell is a conch shell. I'll show it to you. Let me put it up here real close. It's a conch shell, right? This is the big listen. You know, I see the shell as Spirit told me that to buy the shells because you hold them to your ear to listen. So when these come out, it's time to listen. And you need to listen to your subconscious, I think. There's something going on here. There's some sort of situation that's going on here. Let me just readjust this. That if you don't listen at some point, I feel like you are going to get hurt in the future. This heart is the hardened heart, which says to me that the hardened heart is not the broken heart. It's different. It's a hardened heart. It's a heart that the walls are up around it a little bit. And I think that has to do with this familial situation or whatever's going on here. There's also something here where in your higher mind, you know what you want to communicate. Let me see. Let me just adjust that camera. You know what you want to communicate, but you're not allowing yourself to. It almost feels like two, and it's funny, I look at this 4 and then this 1, and I wonder, are you the 1 and they're the 4? Is it 4 against 1 in this scenario that we're looking at? I don't know if that's correct or not, but that's sort of where my intuition is taking me a little bit. It makes me wonder if you're feeling a little bit sort of against all odds. This plane represents travel. It feels like maybe it's saying to me that some of these problems that you're dealing with have traveled back from the past, like they've rearisen. They weren't necessarily around recently, but they're back again. Does that make sense? Because the plane is upright, but the plane feels like it's coming from the past into the now. So these problems, which are very much in the now, are problems that you have dealt with these people or these family members in the past. They've affected you this way in the past. I don't even know if Carmetta's with me. I haven't seen if Carmetta's in. Okay, you're giving me hearts. Thank you. This spider represents weaving, or to me, sometimes a web we can get stuck in. I don't feel like this is this. I feel like, again, there's something that needs to be written about. Dragonfly is spirit, but it also can represent illusion too. And I feel like dragonfly is sort of like you need to be listening to your subconscious. I feel like spirit is trying to speak to you, and it's trying to reach you and come up to you to get you to sort of like to fly up and help you solve this situation. There's something where you could be writing or to get clarity on this situation. I don't know if it's like gratitude lists or writing out something that needs to happen that potentially needs to be written out, and it's not getting done. That's why the spider is upside down. But it needs to get done, and it might help to rectify some of this issue here. Then when I look into the future, this is the mother charm, which is the Virgin Mary. She's upright, and I feel like this actually, I put it in to represent mother, for our mothers. In the future, there's this issue with, I feel like, your mother is present, this hardened heart is here, and then you have this axe which is upright, touching the hardened heart. It says one of two things. Something needs to be chopped away or cut away. I don't know if it's the walls that you have around this hardened heart. I don't know if it's the relationship with your mother. But whatever it is, it needs to be cut away, and I think that that's enough for me to say that you will know what it is. I think that you already kind of have an awareness because your communication chakra stone up here is very clear. Your listening stone in the subconscious is upright, telling you you're hearing the signs, or you need to be listening. If you're not, if you're going against your intuition and you're still allowing these things to affect you, you need to sort of stop that. Let spirit in to help you to clean this up, or to let this go, to communicate your truth so that your dreams can go upright and you can transform and move into the future in a way that's suitable for you. Does that make sense, Carmetta? Sorry for the dead air, guys. I don't know if Carmetta, there might be something wrong with the chat. Could be my internet. I hope it's not going out. So I'll just leave you with that. I hope that makes sense, Carmetta. So I'm going to put these away. My chat's not really refreshing, so I don't know. Is my chat? Oh no, my chat's working. I was able to type in my links. All right, Irish and Cyprus, did you have a question? Thank you, Christy Wilson. So Irish and Cyprus. Okay, it is working. Natasha B, I'll add you to the list. Irish and Cyprus, what's your question again? Because I've scrolled through so many times, or I lost the just general relationship. Okay, so Irish and Cyprus general relationship with spirit. What does Irish and Cyprus need to know? Ooh. Wow. Okay. All right. So let's look at this. I feel like the focus is on home. The teapot represents home. And it's very central in your conscious mind, like trying to keep things balanced. This is sort of in present time, a little bit in the past. So we're sort of like trying to keep it, bring sort of things to a balance, and home is important to you, keeping things balanced. Up here in the higher mind, or where I feel like your thoughts might be in the present time, is mending things in the relationship. This says to me that quite possibly things aren't, this is a sewing machine, and to me that denotes mending or sewing things back together, keeping things sort of together. Maybe the relationship might be hanging by a thread, but I feel like there's this idea of how do I mend it, or how do I fix it? How do I bring the two together? And this is a definite focus on like sort of the warmth and coziness of home, and really sort of the balance or the grounding in that. When I go to this area up here in your higher mind, there's half a heart. And this half a heart, when I put these in, I put in, the heart splits apart. There's a second half heart in there. To me, this represents twin flame. If both come up, then it means that your twin flame and you are interacting. I feel like somewhere in here, this could either represent as a broken heart. I do have a charm that is an actual broken heart with a crack down it. Uh-oh. Why does it say something went wrong? Reload the page. Is everything okay? I just lost my chat, guys. I hope everything's okay. Okay, it seems like I just lost my chat, so I'm not, it's up now. So to me, this could represent a broken heart, but it could also represent you seeking somebody that's of more depth, or in the future, like seeking maybe your twin flame. I don't know what your beliefs are on twin flames. It is a twin flame relationship? Okay. Um, so you've got this hard work here, is the hammer upright, and you've got the wrench, which means that somebody's putting a wrench. It's laying on your hammer. Like, so it's meaning that the hard work going into the future is not really being allowed. I also have the mother charm. Does she not like who you're with? I feel like she's looking down and possibly not judging, but maybe having some sort of opinions or feelings about the struggles that you go through with this person. Okay? Um, Down here in the more conscious area, we have the tree of life, which represents sort of knowledge and growth, but it's going sideways. To me, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it feels like you're growing, but you're not growing necessarily in the direction that you would like. And where this is heading into the future doesn't necessarily feel as ideal as it could be. Does that make sense? Now, down here at the bottom, I'm going to just go down here. This is the jaguar, and the jaguar I put in here for like shamanic spiritual strength. He represents like some serious like magic in a way, and but strength in magic. And you're welcome, Carmetta. I hope it made sense. He's down in your subconscious waiting to come out, and I feel like, is your partner a Scorpio by any chance? Because Scorpio's energy is here. I don't know if somebody's about to like get stung, or if one of you has planets in Scorpio, or there's that sort of a nature to this happening. It is sort of in the present, but it's also going into the future. And for some reason, I'm feeling like these two charms want to do battle. Like this Scorpion and this, hi, happily ever after. How are you? Please like, share, and subscribe. I feel like this Scorpion and this Jaguar needs to come out of your subconscious to sort of fight it out with it. He's a Pisces? Okay, well, he's water energy. Is he, thank you, Tony Middleton Steele. I don't know, but I feel like this Jaguar might have to come in and deal with this Scorpion. The power, again, the horse is here, which is power, feeling like in the future, he's pretty upright. I feel like moving into the future, you will access your own personal power. That's this Jaguar too. It may not necessarily need to be sort of as strong or as, not, I don't see the Jaguar as aggressive, but it's more stealthy. Like, it's more like, you may not need such strong magic going into your future. But up here, I feel like there is, and this twin flame heart is also, not only is it only one half, but it's upside down. So I get the feeling that the work that needs to be done, a wrench is being thrown in the plans, and somebody's overlooking this thing. I don't know if it's your mother or if it's a spirit guide that doesn't necessarily approve. And so their judgment is sort of on it too. It's not necessarily helping you to mend the situation. I do feel like you will access your personal power in the future, and you are still growing, but you could be growing in other ways or different ways if, say, there wasn't such an at odds scenario going on. To me, it feels like with this teapot here, you have a tendency to go inward when they get sort of out of whack, or when they don't want to do the work, or when they don't want to meet you where you want them to meet you. Does that make sense? His ex? Is his ex the Mary? Because that could be representing as a female. She's sort of like judging everything and putting a wrench in the plans, and you guys doing the work. So I feel like, I mean, this is all sort of like happening now and in the future, and also this is in your higher mind, so these are in your thoughts. So just be aware of that as you move forward. What you think about is what you get. So I would want to think about less about her, less about this wrench, and more about getting this work done successfully, accessing your power, and moving forward. Scorpio also represents sex, death, and regeneration. So maybe, it could represent that for you guys. Maybe you could have some sort of regenerative relationship thing that happens in the future, but you have to, in my personal opinion, more advice than a read. I would want this tree of life to be growing upright, and I would want this jaguar energy in check. Not in check, but like utilize it, access your own personal strength. I feel like, if anything, when I look at this, especially with the teapot and the sewing machine, it feels like you're more on the offensive than, like, you go more inward when there's problems, and you need to like almost bring this jaguar in and fight for what you believe in, and if not, move on. Thank you, Happily Ever After. Please, if you like the charm readings, please subscribe to the channel. It's your temper? Okay, that would make sense. Don't let it get the best of you. All right, so Kayanat, you're up next. So do you have a question, Kayanat, or do you just want a general? What do you want? And just to give you guys an idea, I don't know if you guys can see in here, but there's a lot of, let me just show you. There's a lot of different charms that you can choose. It's funny that we have the same charm showing up in readings. It just says to me that you guys are more in like energetic similarity than you realize. How will the bond? Okay, so Kayanat and Veli. All right. That's a lot of questions, but let's see. We'll see what I can come up with, Kayanat. Okay, so let's look at this. Something to me says, like, this is a very good reading right out of the gate. Like, when I look at this stuff, it looks like everything is very good. Like, the center, Kayanat, I feel like you're very centered on wanting to put together a family or create a family. Again, this Scorpio is back. I'm not exactly sure why. The family's sort of resting on that. So I wonder if either of you two, you or Veli, are a Scorpio, or there is some volatile energy underneath or between the two of you. Like if you two fight, similar to like what Irish and Cypress just said, is it could be her bad temper. So like maybe possibly one of you has a bad temper or both of you do, but I feel like your focus is on sort of building this family. There is this, I feel like the spider here says to me that generally spider is writing or a web that we can get trapped in. But to me, it feels like it's coming in from the past. Like this, for some reason, feels like the business idea to me. And it feels like it's crawling forward into the present, and it's going to continue to crawl into the future. And the reason why I like that it's continuing to crawl in the future, and I'm just going to show you what it's doing in my mind, in my mind's eye, is it's doing this, and it's heading right here to these two spots. These spots are, first off, this is the heart chakra. This is the green heart chakra, which this says to me, and this is in the future, so this says to me that there could be actual real love there between you and Veli, or you're going to find real love, or this is you accessing your heart chakra. It's already beginning, and it will go into the future. And then you have, I believe this is the long distance healing charm, which says to me that in the future, you will be like sort of, I like that this and this are sitting in not partially in the present, but also leading into the future, which says to me that you have the opportunity to have a very loving, sort of heart-centered, healed situation, okay? But that spider needs to make it across the board. I'm going to put the spider back where it was, right? That spider needs to walk through the present time into the future. Now, the reason why I say that is I want to take you down to the subconscious, or what's lower on the board. You have the bravery charm. I love this charm. This is one of my favorite charms in the box. This is bravery. It's a little matador's jacket, if you guys can see it. Because matadors fight bulls, so that represents bravery. You have the bravery charm. And then I believe when I flip this over, this is the Nino, which comes from the churches here in Cal. Oh no, this is the guardian angel. So this is the guardian angel charm, but it's not, sorry that that's a little blurry, guys, but it's not being accessed. It's flipped upside down. So I think that there's an angel present, or there's an angel that wants to help you. You need to be brave. You know you need to be brave with Veli. I think maybe you're hiding or a little bit afraid. And your guardian angel is here. Let them in. Let them help you. And you have the frog again, which is about cleansing. And this is in the subconscious mind, and it's upside down, which says to me that there's some thoughts or some ideas, some worries, some fears that you need to cleanse, that you need to let go of. You need to access this angel and ask this angel for assistance. Be brave. Ask the angel to come in and help you to cleanse whatever doubt you have, whatever fear you have, whatever worry you have going into the future between you and Veli, both romantically and business-wise, okay? I think once you do that, or as you do that in the present time, that triggers this spider to start to move forward into a more present time and then into the future. The other thing I want to say is up here in the high mind, you have two dice. You have 6 and 3, which to me is interesting because 3 is half of 6. They feel sort of balanced in some way because they're like sort of, you can divide 6 by 3. Does that make sense? But I feel like you guys are sort of different. You each bring something different to the table. This does say like there is the possibility for love, but I feel like this black dice to me says that you guys, like, I almost feel like the 6 and the 3 kind of complement each other, right? They're not exactly the same way of thinking, though. And that's what this, like, maybe you guys argue a little bit or come across points, you know, like if you guys butt heads a little bit, that's because of this 6 and 3. This says that there's a possibility for love, but there's also a possibility for some fiery energy, too. I don't know. I feel like this might be her. I don't know if she's kind of a little bit... or him. I don't know if Veli is a male or female, but I feel like this is Veli and this is you. Like, you are more grounded and more in it to sort of be serious. It's focused on the family. And I feel like maybe this might be Veli a little bit like sort of blowing hot and cold. One minute they love you, love you, love you. The next minute they're yelling at you. But I do like that in the future we have this healing Reiki stone, and we have this heart chakra stone. It says to me that there is very good possibility coming into the future, but you need to clear out your subconscious and be brave and let those guardian angels in to guide you in this situation. Okay? Thank you, Destiny Smith. I love it. Thank you. I need all the YouTube subscriptions I can get, my dear. Oh, maybe she's the 6 and you're the 3 then? Is that what it is? Because one of them feels, the 6 feels more grounded to me and a little bit like serious. I have Natasha B after Kayanat. Happily Ever After, did you subscribe? I don't know Tony Milton Steele. People say that all the time. I don't know. I need you guys to share the video out, and then maybe I'll become that. Okay, great. I've added you after Natasha B. And Destiny, I'll add you after Happily Ever After for subscribing to the YouTube. All right, so Natasha B, are you still with me? Relationship, okay. But stop worrying about that stuff high enough. Cleanse those thoughts in your subconscious. Okay, so this is for Natasha B relationship. What does Natasha B need to know for her relationship? Okay, I'm going to go right into this, Natasha B. Are you ready? You're welcome, Destiny. You ready, Natasha, my dear? Let me just get this centered. You don't have a ton of stuff, but I want to show you what you do have. I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way up. The family charm is back. You've got for lack of a better word, you have a colored past with I want to say relationships. Close relationships to you are tough. I feel like you have had rough problems with maybe your family in your past, maybe with other relationships, with other people that you wanted to trust and found that you couldn't. This is face down and upside down. So it says to me that in your past, it sort of has not always worked in your favor. Or you have a lot of like sort of things that haunt you about like trusting people maybe. Okay, this isn't necessarily a bad thing, it's just the experiences that you've had. And so for me, it feels like some of this is driving everything else that's on the board. It's the past, but it's like the reminder of it that sort of is affecting everything else that's on the board. Now, what I have down here at the base of here, I want to start from the bottom. In your subconscious is the dog charm. It's this little dog laying down. And it's like I've got a couple different dog charms in here to represent different things. One represents like, this one represents not only loyalty, right? Because all dogs are very loyal. And they're like man's best friend, forgiving, compassionate, that sort of a thing. But this also represents obedience. Like I feel like because he's laying down, he's being obedient. To me, this is sort of like the crux of who you are. You are loyal, you are compassionate, you can be somebody's best friend to the end. You will continue to love people even when they don't love you, like how a dog would do, you know, like how a dog teaches us about unconditional love. I feel like this is the crux of who you are in your subconscious. And I feel like that's maybe why you've suffered a lot in some of your relationships, because you've gone back and trusted people over and over again, or been loyal to people that necessarily didn't deserve your loyalty. Now, this starfish here is like what I consider the star card. This says to me, coming up out of your subconscious, there's a beautiful bright star within you. Like you're an amazing person. And I think that it's starting to emerge, and you're starting to realize that and acknowledge that. And you really, if you don't realize that already, you need to, because it's here, and it's here. I see it in this dog charm too. This sort of obedience, this loyalty, this compassion, this unconditional love, all of the wonderful things that are, you know, a dog would represent. You have those in yourself as a human, right? And that makes you this starfish, this star, basically, that shines very, very brightly. Now, when I look at this charm, this was put in for Aquarius. I don't know if somebody around you is an Aquarius or you're an Aquarius, but my original intention of putting this in was for the symbol of Aquarius because it has the flowing water. So I'm not sure. It is upside down though. So it says to me that maybe this could, if this is not Aquarian energy, this, what is that yes for, Natasha? Can you answer me that? Is it for Aquarius? There may be a lag. Thank you, Happily Ever After, for the like. Wow, y'all are dating Pisces. What's going on? I'm a Pisces too, but all of you women are dating Pisces. That's so funny. Well, this is definitely like water here. So I could say that this would be Pisces. I do have an actual fish charm in there that would have shown up, that would have shown a better Pisces presentation. But this is certainly watery issue. And it's funny, he's upside down and sitting on top of you, like on top of that star. But here's the other thing. I want to say that this is like sort of the clarity of the chakras. This chakra is the clear chakra, and it represents for me like clarity, and it's flipped over in the center of your present. Like right now, you're not very clear on what it is you want, or it's not allowing you to be clear on what it is you want. Going into the future, you are going to start to figure that out through your communication chakra, your fifth chakra here in the throat. You need to communicate what it is that you need with him. Unfortunately, though, and this is what I don't necessarily enjoy, is that down here, up here in the very far high mind, is I think that there's a fear that you might fight. It's the boxing glove. It feels to me like you're fearful that maybe if you communicate what you need or who you are, a fight might ensue. Now this is, and this to me feels like this could be a big fight that could end everything. And I feel like maybe this, because it's in the higher mind, feels like it could be a fear of yours or something that you're afraid might happen in the future if you were to actually speak your truth. But you need to speak your truth so that you can get clear and be the star that you are and allow yourself to be appreciated for who you are and what you are and all of the wonderful qualities that you have. I think he doesn't necessarily appreciate you the way that you should be appreciated. That's why this symbol is upside down. Does that make sense? Thank you, Quanisha Brown, for subscribing. I appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. So does that make sense to you? I don't know if this fight actually will happen in the future if you communicate, or if this is just a fear that you're creating. But I think the thought in your head, in your higher mind, is that, oh, I'm afraid that if I speak my mind, if I speak my truth, if I get clear and I speak my truth, we're going to fight and it could be the end. But would that be the worst thing? I don't know. It might be that you need to do that because this situation with him might just be a repeat of a lot of the other stuff that you've experienced in the past, because that's sort of the expectation that you have. Yeah, Pisces tend to be sensitive, but they can be shy. It might be what other planets he has. But if you piss Pisces off, it's no go. It's bad, no bueno. I mean, we're the sweetest people you can ever deal with, but once you cross us, it gets kind of ugly. At least me. That's what I feel like when I was saying that, like, maybe it will be the same as previous relationships. That upside down family that was here felt like it was like the memory that drives all the things that you're creating, and you want to create something new. You need to get clear because you deserve something different. You need to honor yourself as that starfish. Like, you need to honor the star that you are and start being treated as such. Start allowing people to see that, but you have to see it first. And to do that, you have to communicate what you need, and you have to get that clear chakra stone flipped over, because it was right in your center. It said to me, oh, she needs to get clear in her present mind about what she wants and how she wants it, and knows that she deserves it. She is the star. She is compassionate and loyal and good. People have taken advantage of it for far too long. All right, I'm going to leave you with that. Destiny Smith says, my sister's a crazy Pisces. Y'all are surrounded by fish people. Some of us are crazy. Some of us are okay. Some of us go in and out of being okay and crazy. We're super psychic. We tend to be super drunk. You have to be careful with Pisces. Just because we're so wide open to stuff that we don't understand, that if we don't get a harness on it by a certain point, it can get messy. A lot of the water signs are that way. They're the emotional ones. They're the water signs. Cancers, Scorpios, they tend to be a bit more emotional and volatile. So the next person up is Happily Ever After. Are you here with me, Happily Ever After? There's my link to subscribe to my YouTube if you're on Facebook, or to find me on Facebook if you're on YouTube. You can like my business page and follow there if you also have a Facebook account. I also do tarot readings, just so you guys know, those of you that are new. Yeah, Pisces are the most, just so you guys know, I mean, because since a lot of you guys are dealing with Pisces, my experience and being a Pisces is that we tend to be extremely emotional, we tend to be extremely loving and romantic, but we also live in a daydream world. We have great imaginations, but we also, you know, have a tendency to let those imaginations run away with us too if we're not careful. It's always important for Pisces to take good self-care. Sometimes we don't. We put others in front of ourselves and then we get pissed off because they don't acknowledge us in the way we feel that we should. We're also highly intuitive, I believe, and I think that sometimes when we're younger, it's hard for us to understand that our intuition is something that other people don't have. So we expect people to be as intuitive as we are, and when they're not, we get a little moody or like pissed off or annoyed because people aren't necessarily reading our thoughts or guessing our next step kind of thing like we're doing with them. So there's a lot of funny things about Pisces. We're great. They're amazing people, but there's a lot of like emotionalness and spiritual aspect or psychicness that needs to get harnessed, and kind of settled so that they can really bloom into the beautiful soul that they are. Because I think Pisces are some of the most sensitive and sweet people in the world. But if they're caught up in like drugs and alcohol or self-doubt and fear, which these are all things that I've dealt with throughout my life, like that I've either conquered or am still working on, you know, but I've at least gotten to a place where I acknowledge that I'm working on it and that it's mine. I stopped blaming others for it. Oh, happily ever after is here. Good, thank you. So, um, happily ever after, did you have a question? Cornisha Brown says her brothers are Pisces. There's like a lot of you guys with Pisces around you. Soldier of Fortune. Well, Gemini and Pisces are both dualities. So they're not necessarily known to fully go together well, but they can, you know, they are the two duality signs. So they can relate on that level. The Pisces has the two fish swimming in two opposite directions, and the Gemini is the two twins. So they are the two dualities. Um, did you just want a general happily ever after? I'm sorry, trying to find out if I'm just supposed to do a general charming for you, or did you have a specific question? After happily ever after is Destiny Smith. You guys, please like and subscribe to the YouTube if you haven't already. And if you are on YouTube and you have a Facebook account, follow my links and just like my business page and follow that so you can see what I do. I do a morning broadcast every morning for a card for the energy of the day. I have some pick-a-cards on my YouTube. I have tarot scopes for the month of August on my YouTube. I might put mid-month tarot scopes, or I might try and do charmings like for the mid-month for the signs. We'll see. I don't know if I lost happily ever after. I'm not seeing her posts. Is it my chat window again? No, my chat window's working. maybe happily ever after went off happily ever after. She didn't even need a charming. No, Irish and Cyprus, this is something that I just have learned. Like, I've always read cards since I was like a teenager. And so I've done clairvoyant reading, I do aura readings, I do different stuff. And then I learned about charming and I thought it was interesting. And it reminded me of like the throwing of the bones. I have a rune set, but I never really used it like enough to fully know how to do it. Now with this charming thing, it's making me want to go back to my home in Texas and get my rune set and learn how to throw runes, because I've carried around this bag of runes that I've had since I was in my early 20s that I got as a birthday gift, and I never really quite studied because I was so busy playing with tarot cards. Tony Middleton Steele, all you had to do was ask, but at this point I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's going to be 9 by this point, and I'm getting a little tired, so I kind of have to cut it. But on the next live, if you tune in, I will just raise your hand and say that you want to get on the list. But I want to do Happily Ever After and Destiny Smith, and then I need to sign off. Is Happily Ever After still here? Or is Destiny Smith here? I can do yours, Destiny, while we wait for Happily Ever After. Oh, you're here. Okay, so do you have a question, Happily Ever After? All right, how does your ex feel about you? Actually, you know what? I can't really do that because that's reading your ex. Can we do the relationship? I'm just going to do the relationship because I don't want to read your ex because he's not the one asking for the reading. So that's not really appropriate to read somebody that's not here asking for it. So it's just an energy thing. So I can read the relationship as if it was like a third party because you are involved in the relationship, but I can't read your ex directly and his feelings. I think that's inappropriate. Is that okay? Okay, cool. Thank you. Okay. All right, so let's look at what we've got here. A lot of it is in the future for you right now, is it what it appears like to me. Oh, thank you, Catherine Miles. Thank you very much. Please like the business page on Facebook, and you'll see other videos when I go on again. So what I feel like right here is you need to communicate, like right out of the gate. Your communication is key, and what you have communicated maybe has also made the reason why he's your ex. But I feel like there's this map. This is the unicorn charm, and it's upside down, and it's face down, which feels like, I almost feel like, did you feel like whatever you communicated to him ended up breaking the two of you up and ruining your magic with him? But I feel like whatever it was that you communicated, you needed to communicate with him because it wasn't working, and it's not really what destroyed the magic between you two. Like, I feel like almost like your not punishing yourself, but wondering, like, is it what I said that ruined everything, that ruined the magic? And I don't think that's true. I think that your communication, I love that it's in the present time and that it's clear and that it's upright. So the fact that the magic feels upside down, maybe you're missing the relationship, or maybe you're missing the magic of being in a relationship. But that wasn't necessarily like the right relationship. Does that make sense? Now down here at the bottom, this charm right here represents, I put her in here, it's the Virgin Mary, but instead of having the flat one, which represents like the mother, this represents Virgo energy. But this could be, if nobody's a Virgo, like if your partner's not a Virgo or if you're not a Virgo, uh, this could be sort of also like Mother Mary energy. This is sort of like in you being in your female power. This is in your subconscious mind, in your lower, in the back of your mind. This is about you standing on your own 2 feet and being strong. That's why this communication is here. She's sort of underneath this, and she's kind of heading into the future, right? So if you're not a Virgo, or this doesn't represent as Virgo energy, this could be just representing and standing in your feminine truth. Now, the reason why I think it might be that is because as this progresses into the future, a transformation takes place. It is the butterfly. It is upright. It is beautiful. It's the big butterfly. A big transformation is taking place or about to take place. You have the tree of life, which is knowledge, growth, and healing, and you have the rooster charm, which is good luck. Just straight up good luck. Because in a lot of cultures, like the Portuguese culture, a lot of different cultures, roosters are considered good luck. So you have the rooster charm in the future too. You also have the tree of life, which says to me that once this transformation takes place, which you're kind of in it right now, and you're standing in your own power, she's going to kind of go like, when she's like that, boom, we go up to the transformation. The transformation takes place. The tree of life kicks in. The rooster kicks in. The healing stone kicks in. And this is the, I think, the master healing stone, if I remember correctly. Irish and Cypress said that to me. This is all in your future. And up here in your high mind, this is healing too. This is a healing dice, right? That is up here in your higher mind, kind of a little bit in the future. So I think that as you have this transformation, something in your higher mind is going to get you more focused on doing you, so to speak, like taking care of yourself and moving yourself into the future. And that's going to bring this about. It's going to bring about a lot of good luck. It's going to bring about a lot of knowledge and growth. And it's just going to be a very beautiful period. And to be honest, I know that I was supposed to be reading the relationship between the two of you, but I feel like this is more your relationship to yourself. I feel like I don't necessarily know that you need him per se. I feel like this transformation says that you might be moving on to bigger and better things in the future, and that really you need to stand in your feminine power, this Mary down here, and own that, own who you are and what you communicate. Don't punish yourself for it or allow yourself to be the reason why it fell apart. I don't think that's the truth, and that you want this transformation to happen. Thank you, Reese Carter. Thank you very much. Yes, Queen. I wouldn't reach out. Like, that's just me personally, but I mean, I think that this is about your personal power, and I think that you're going to access some that's going to be very beautiful and transformative, and you're like in the future coming up, you're not even going to be worried about it. You're going to be too busy growing and gaining knowledge and experiencing good luck and healing that he won't be on your mind right now. Right now, it's this. I think maybe it's this like upside down unicorn that's making you want to reach out and contact him. Don't. That's the only thing that you have on this board that's upside down. Don't do it. Everything else is upright and heading in the right direction. I don't think you, I mean, you're saying I should let go perhaps. I think you should do you. I think you should focus on you, not on him. Focus on your healing, standing in your own power and what your needs are, and you meeting those for yourself. If he comes back into the picture by choice, by his choice, then you can ask those questions. Thank you, Tony Middleton Steele, about the hilarious comment. All right, so I'm going to pull these up and do Destiny Smith. because I'm getting a little bit like, Destiny Smith, are you still here? It's true, Reese Carter. Reese Carter says, focus on self-love and then it will fall into place. And that's really true. And once we have the self-love to a degree, then others can see it in us and appreciate it in us. And we attract people that have their own self-love. And then the relationship is so much easier to be in because both of you are self-sustaining adult individuals. You're welcome, Happily Ever After. I'm appreciative for the like. Please share the video wherever you feel like it could be used. Or, you know, put it out there to your YouTuber friends. I'm trying to crack the YouTube code. I don't understand how some of these YouTubers have like 44,000 subscribers. It's amazing to me. So I'm trying to do that. Okay, Destiny, did you have a question? Or do you just want a general charming? Please, any help, Reese? You help bring me subscribers? That'd be amazing. So, Destiny, did you have a question, dear? It's getting hot here in Mexico, like humid. Also, it's hot when I work with like cards or charming. My body heat picks up because of spirit. What does the future hold for my unborn child? If you can't do that, one general. I'm going to do general because your unborn child is a third party. Okay? But maybe let's do a general and see what comes up. Thank you for posting, Destiny. Ooh, Destiny. Girl. Interesting. Okay. Let's get into this. All right, the first thing that attracted my attention, and I don't think you guys can tell just because of the camera angle, is this jaguar is up here in the high mind and he's standing upright on his feet. Like he's standing upright like as the charm would stand on a table. Like he landed standing fucking upright. He is no joke. He's like looking right at me. So that's interesting to me. You got a lot going on, like right here in the center of things. It feels to me like you're trying to figure a bunch of stuff out. It feels to me like you're not feeling like you're being treated fairly. This screwdriver is usually says somebody's screwing you, or like, and I don't mean like that kind of screwing. I mean like somebody's screwing you over. So I feel like there's something going on here about what you know. The book represents also knowledge, or the things that you've sort of put into place. This woman here could be, like I said, virgin energy, not virgin energy, the Virgo energy, or this could be a girlfriend, like a supportive friend of yours, I feel like, that might be trying to hold you up and keep you afloat right now. There's some stuff that, like, it feels like you have the dumbbell in the past and the cleansing in the past. Like, I feel like you've had to let go of some things and really change your outlook on stuff. That's this cleansing. They're next to the scissors, which feels like these things have been cut away. And like I feel like as the scissors cut them, they sort of drift off into the heavy weight, right? Get it? Like the heavy weight we carry from the past, the work that we've done, the cleansing that we've done. I think that it's good we've cleansed those things or let them go. This could be old behaviors, old habits, old thoughts that weren't serving you, but these scissors say that you cut them free and you're sort of letting them go in the past, right? This key here is it's like, to me it feels like this was an important thing that you had to get right. It was like the key to move forward, whatever this whole area was of like doing the heavy lifting, doing the work, building the muscles, like I don't know, like I almost want to say like this feels like getting sober. Like if like the cleansing and doing the heavy work was the key to getting sober and um, getting your life together in some way. Now that you've gotten to your center here and you're feeling good and things are established and you have this like sort of support, there's something that's going on that you feel like maybe you're being messed with in the background or you're being challenged in the background. This is my Pisces symbol. So I'm glad he showed up for the last reading. Destiny, who did you say was a Pisces in your world? You said you had a Pisces because this is my Pisces symbol right here. We've all been talking about Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. He finally shows up on the last reading of the night. So this could either represent as, I mean, this is generally the Pisces symbol. So I'm not sure who you said Pisces was, but they're also kind of being left in the past, I feel like, or they're being sort of let go. Does that make sense? Wait, were you the one with the crazy sister that was the Pisces? Yeah, the crazy sister. She's in the back of your mind, but I feel like she's sort of slipping into the past too. And cutting away of all of this brings you into this future where this jaguar, you've got the unicorn, which is your magic, is kind of not, it's in your higher mind and it's present and it's face up, but it's upside down. Like I feel like this screwdriver, somebody's screwing you. Somebody's like kind of fucking you over and you know it and you're not able to access your magic just yet. But don't worry, you will. Not only will you access your magic, you'll access magic that's stronger than you can even realize. You'll access fucking like this jaguar magic and it's totally like upright and he's like walking around the board like he owns the board. So trust and wait for that. This is interesting to me because this feels like this is the communication chakra stone, but it's turned over. So something is not being communicated. There's something that's like maybe bothering you now that is going to get a little bit worse in the future, that a thought or an idea that you're going to have a hard time communicating or setting free. So be aware of that. And then what we've got here, and this is totally in your future, you've got the big conch shell again, which is like the big listen, like pay attention. And it's around this man. And when I put this guy in here, he was St. Augustine, right? But his halo broke. And so I was fine with that. And I thought that he would just sort of represent as man or as sleeping, or he could represent as death, like he sort of looks like he's laying there dying. Now, I'm not trying to predict a dying of a male. This could be that a man is coming into your life if you're currently single, and to pay attention. Does that make sense? So, let me just ask one moment. Are you single right now, Destiny? You're not a mess, dear. It just feels like you're trying to get yourself clear. And you will. This jaguar says it, and the fact that the communication chakra is here says to me that you know what you need to say, you're just not saying it. For fear of like, stuff that's gone on in the past. Your relationship is falling apart. I think this might be a new guy. I feel like this is somebody new. I feel like he's standing upright in the future, like waiting for you, and you need to pay attention for when he comes along. And the reason why I say that is because when I ask, I'm also getting the St. Augustine aspect of this charm, which says to me he's going to be a nice man, like he's going to be a very good man, and he will be balanced and grounded and upright and upstanding and a good guy. And you'll know that he might be a little bit I'm hearing he might be a little bit boring, but don't let that bother you. He's a sweet man, and he will be kind to you and good to you, like how St. Augustine, what he represents. I also feel like because it's the St. Augustine thing, I'm saying like be on the lookout for like if he's kind to animals, like if he has a dog that he loves or something like that, that might be a signifier that you need to look out for to find the man that is sort of right for you. And it's interesting because it feels like he's coming in your future, but you need to get into your own personal power, start to communicate your stuff, and really cut away all the stuff that's not working for you. And you're in the process of doing that. You've been doing that. You've got some of this stuff going into the past, but these are like the keys to your success. And your sister's kind of, she needs to chill. Her opinions maybe need to chill. Hey Aqualove XOXO, please hit the subscribe button if you feel so inclined. Well, that's fine if you're twin soul flame, whatever twin flame soul thing is waiting for you in the other world. That's fine. This man would be a nice man for this lifetime. Let's say that. Oh, thank you, Tony Middleton Smith. Tony says the negative out, positive in changed my life. I feel like I can actually meditate with you. It's a small practice we do in the morning forecast. Those of you on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. I do a daily card. Those of you on Facebook, please like the business page. I do a daily card in the morning where we do a small little breathing exercise before starting the daily card, and that gives us an idea and insight into the energy of the day. I will put my link in so that you can find those places. I was doing free readings, but I'm finishing up now. I just did 9 of them. So I was doing charm readings. But if you subscribe to the channel, you can see my pick of cards, you can see my tarot scopes, you can see the dailies that I do. And I'm also available for paid readings. So if you like the way that I read, you can book me for a paid reading if you'd like. That's all in the Linktree link that I just put in there, the Engelgeist 333. It'll show you where to go. Thank you, Irish and Cyprus. But hit the subscribe button and hit the bell, Aqualove. The next time I'm on doing a charm reading, because the charm readings I do I'm sort of just doing them for fun. So I do them like free for now. And then, how though, don't do it live with a person. I'm not sure what you mean, Tony. Tony Middleton Steele on Facebook, I don't know what you mean. How though don't you do it live with a person? Are you drinking, Tony Middleton, in the middle of the afternoon on a Saturday? Atta girl. Atta girl. With a paid reading, it's done over the phone, either through Facebook Live video, if you prefer to look at me while I talk to you, or just over the phone. I can call you. My phone dials. I live in Mexico, but I can dial the U.S. and Canada. So I can either direct dial you. Sometimes I have to direct dial because my internet isn't great or other people's internet isn't great for Facebook video. But usually I just either do the call through Facebook, over the Facebook phone call, or through Facebook video. Phantom Punk I was, but I just finished. I just did 9 of them, and I'm a little bit wiped out. Thank you for tuning in. I wish that you would have tuned in earlier. Please give a subscribe to the page. I will be doing these again. I might do more tomorrow. It was charmed readings. I do a daily pull for a card in the morning. And I do things called pop-ups where I pull individual cards and stuff, or I do different things. You'll see on the page, if you look on the channel, you'll see the different things that I do. So I'm sorry, but I'm about to. I have WhatsApp, Irish in Cyprus, yes, and I have Skype. I haven't used it in a really long time because Facebook just seems to be. Everybody seems to be on Facebook. But yeah, check out some of my pick a cards. They're fun. Those of you that don't know the pick a cards, I have a few up there that are kind of fun. I'll be doing more of those too. I usually try and put up one a week. And then let me know in the comments what you think of them. Let me know what you would like to see as pick a cards. And I don't know if I'm going to do charmings for the mid-month taroscopes or do mid-month taroscopes, but I've got to decide whether or not I'm doing that. Blonde Emperor, yes, you can ask a question. What would you like to ask? I like your name, Blonde Emperor. I think that's kind of cool. Sorry, guys. I'm just waiting on Blonde Emperor. Thank you, Tony Middleton Steele. She says I am the best. But we also thought maybe she might be drinking this afternoon. Oh. Oh, wait. Blonde Emperor. Hello, I'm Lupe, and I would like to know David's current feelings for me. Oh, hi, Lupe. Okay. So here's the thing. I don't necessarily do readings on people that aren't present. So I can't charm that. Because you were asking me about David's feelings. That's kind of like, to me, it's the equivalent of like reading somebody's diary energetically. Like if I go through their feelings and feel them in my body, I feel like I'm like going through somebody's, not trash, but you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I would read you, like I read you, no problem, because you're here and present and asking for it, but I don't do third-party readings. It's just not energetically kind. But I would read your relationship at another point in time with cards. That's like a cheat. But right now I'm about to sign off. Please give me a like, a share, a subscribe, so that you guys can find out when I'm on again. And I look forward to seeing you all again. Thank you all for tuning in, and have a great Saturday. Thank you. I hope this whole event was very charming for you all. All right, I'm a big dork, you guys. And if you guys didn't see this morning's broadcast for the energy of the day, go and check it out because it is wackadoo. Some of the new people that came through, they were just interesting. Some of their names. It was a hoot. We had fun. Blonde Emperor, can I at least know if I'll receive communication from him soon? I'm going to charm this. Yeah, Tia, check it out. It's funny. Will Lupe receive communication from him soon? I have a feeling you might, Lupe. And the reason why is you have this magic charm right in the center of everything. You also have the crown upright over your wisdom. But this is in your future. So there's something that you're going to intuitively learn. Your guides are going to show you something intuitively, maybe about this relationship or whatever, but it's going to bring you to a place in your future where you have a lot of wisdom around the situation, you understand what you're worth, and you understand that how you need to be treated. So if he is not treating you the way you need to be treated, you're going to have to let him go. But he may reach out to you to communicate to you with this magic in the center. The two dice to me sort of feel very far apart, like the love is kind of pulled. And also, I almost feel like, does your mother judge him or how he treats you? Because she's up in your higher mind looking down on you, and I feel like she doesn't necessarily appreciate how he treats you or how you feel around him or something like that. So either this is a mother, an older sister, a good girlfriend, somebody that says, no, he's not right for you. That's in the back of your mind all the time. But, and you also got the Gemini symbol, But this could also be like relationships, but they're sort of upside down. So I have a feeling he may contact you, but to be honest, I have a feeling that these charms here tell me that you don't really want him to contact you. Like you deserve, like there's some things that you're going to figure out in the future with this owl and this crown sitting on it like that, that it's like, it's bang on good. You also have this healing stone here, but it's upside down. It's the long distance healing. I don't know if he's far away from you, but it's upside down. So maybe that might be why the relationship doesn't quite work. That's it for now. I'm tired. I'm sorry. I've done like 10 of these, so I'm like, my brain is a little bit, I'm just really, I need to eat and I need to take a break. Um, but I would look forward to your future. This is very good in your future. And this magic in the center says to me that you're brewing something. You want him to call, you're trying to make him call, and I think that he might contact you, but I think that these two red dice so far apart say to me that you guys are not necessarily going to come together because the red ones represent love. It feels to me like maybe this is you down here and this is him up here and she's judging him. Whoever this is, I think maybe this is your mom. He is far away. She doesn't know him, but does she tell him? I don't know that you need to let go of him. I'm just saying that I feel like this is more about you excelling than about him. You asked if he would communicate with you, if he would reach out and call you. And I think that sounds to me like, this looks to me like he might. But I feel like these two are far away from each other. The love thing. So I feel like that's kind of hard. And I feel like there's also another female that's sort of looking down upon it. I mean, I'm not sure. So I am really tired, so that might be part of it. But I kind of feel like answer me this, Blonde Emperor. You and him, you're not perfect. It's not an easy relationship, correct? I can feel that with these charms. I feel like you really like him. You're trying to create him, maybe, and she judges him. Thank you, Reese. She judges him. She judges the way he treats him. Okay, well, that's your other female. But anyways, I've got to go. Give me a like or a subscribe, Blonde Emperor. I can give you a better reading when I'm less tired and less available. I've just done a bunch, so I'm kind of wiped out. But I feel like I said, there's this woman that sort of judges him, or maybe she likes him. Maybe she's got her eye on him too. But I feel like you guys are kind of far apart on this board. But in your future, this owl says you're going to gain a lot of wisdom. The crown is very beneficial. You're going to put the crown on your head. Maybe that means you win him over. And maybe you have him for you if that's your goal, because that looks like that is your goal. But I would stay concentrated on the fact that good things are coming to you in the future, whatever they may be, whether they're him or anything else. It says to me, good things are coming. Okay? Blonde Emperor says, but I blocked her because she liked him. Atta girl, Blonde Emperor. That's that fucking... And I love that your name's Blonde Emperor and you got the crown. That's perfect. That's the way you need to be, is treat yourself really good, because that's what this is. But you're going to get some big wisdom. And from that, you'll be good and strong. Thank you for the subscription. I appreciate it. All right, you guys, have a good day. I'm going to sign off. I need to go eat and rest my brain. Meditate and clear this out. Please disconnect any cords of energy that you might have to each other or to me. I will do the same, and I will see you guys soon. Like or subscribe on the business page, on Facebook, or on the YouTube channel. Hit the bell so you can be notified when I'm on. I'm on every morning to do the card of the day. I'll probably be doing more charm videos, and I would love to see you guys in the future. And thank you so much for tuning in. All right, have a good day. Bye.